with it to YouTube, man. Today about to be reacting to when diss songs go too far. Now, I mean, they be talking about the dead all the time. Rest in peace to all those that have died behind beef. But it's like, what's going too far at this point if you talking about the deceased? But let's see what they talking about.
Rap has always
My
been
camera
interesting to
looking,
me
bro. Cause last video it
because
was
of how many changes it's went through. There are some things that have not stood the test of time, some things that have come back, but one thing that has remained extremely consistent as early as the 18th century was dissing. Now, for my lovely slow people, a diss song is a song where the primary purpose of said song is to solely disrespect or attack someone. It could be an artist, a person.
Hey, real quick. Hey, this kind of off topic, but this from the last video. Hold on. I just text my girl. Y'all know what I'm talking on. Damn, they don't blur the message no more? Whatever, bro. You're so epic. Shout out Dez. You feel me? Shout out Dez.
Personal life, an opposite gang. Realistically, anybody can get dissed for whatever reason. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain that to y'all, especially because you clicked on this video, which, by the way, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it and I love you. Follow my Instagram, yada, yada, yada. Now, of course, as long as time has been time, people have always disrespected each other in some form, one way or another, through different forms of communication, especially in music. You had minstrel shows back in the 1800s where white people reinforced negative black stereotypes.
Blackface is crazy, though. Like, this was a crazy... The whole back then. I'm glad I was born in this period because I couldn't bear living in this period, bro.
Showing them as lazy, ignorant people through people like Jim Crow and Zip Coon. Yeah, we're never gonna get even with them, by the way. YouTube, relax before you even think about it. But going up about 100 years, rap dissing started as early as the 80s with Roxanne's Revenge by Roxanne Shante and Marley Marl. I don't know why that was kind of hard for me to say. Which, that's cool and all, but realistically, everyone remembers the true start of impactful dissing in songs with the whole East Coast versus West Coast beef that was going on in the 90s. Now this changed shit. People still, to this very day, bring up the diss songs that were from this era. Like when Ice Cube broke it off from NWA and dropped No Vaseline, which was a classic, as soon as it hit radio stations, because he literally came for everyone's neck that he was beefing with at that point. Even as recently as 2024, he had something to say about this diss song. Mind you, this came out in 1991.
Maybe it's Kendrick Lamar now and shit. Maybe it's him. I love those songs, but No Vaseline is the best diss song in the history of hip hop. And I'll tell you why. Talk to him, kid. I'll tell you why. Come on. One MC, myself, okay? I took out 4 motherfuckers and the manager. You can't beat that.
Hey, he did catch 5 bodies at the same time. Ice Cube is indeed a legend. Indeed.
Oh, shit.
Now, do I agree with that? I don't know. I can't say he's wrong. I mean, if you listen to the song, he did come at 4 different niggas along with their manager. That's impactful. And I'm not gonna lie, he had some balls for that. The fact that I'm using it as a reference point for a massive amount of plot in the history of dissing in 2025 should tell you something. Like I said, the song is impactful. But it is not the only impactful diss song in hip-hop. In fact, it's more so an afterthought.
Where that Tupac at, y'all? Man, that Tupac in that...
It's just about 5 years later, from 91, Tupac would release arguably one of the most recognizable songs, period, in history, named Hit 'Em Up. Now, this song was...
Hit your fat month. Yeah.
The biggest diss track from the 90s, maybe even one of the biggest diss songs of all time. I mean, the song starts out with Tupac literally saying, you know, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Hey, man.
Immediately, just straight into disrespecting the
I know about that, bro. Young cat, Yanni. Y'all know nothing about that. Come on.
Biggie, bro. Like, he wasted no time. Now, at that time, Faith Evans, who was Biggie's wife, was embarrassed by the song and went on to deny the allegations of getting on timing with Tupac. However, Ray J, of all people, recalls seeing her sit on Tupac's lap during a recording session. And someone else saw Tupac rubbing on her leg in a nightclub. Funny enough, apparently in the book that Faith wrote, she admitted to cheating on Biggie with Terry Dollars and an NBA player. You know, so it's not super far-fetched that she might have thrown Pac to TT Bone as well.
She definitely did. She just didn't want to say Pac in that book because she knows. I mean, if she would have said Pac and being real in the book, that would have sold millions.
Basically make an entire video about how insane Hit 'Em Up is. Realistically, it's just one diss track, you know, and how some people say it was the biggest catalyst for why Tupac was eventually murdered, but that's another story for another day. No. Basically, at this point,
he was
dissing
murdered
rappers
because Diddy had a vendetta. You know what I'm saying? Call it what you want, but Diddy didn't like that Pac and Biggie was so close. So if anything, if he would have continued to beef with him, then he probably would still be alive. Rest in peace, Pac. If you know, you know.
Was no longer this niche occasional thing at all, and it really wasn't as avant-garde as it was before, especially after Hit 'Em Up, you know. So in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, dissing was still pretty prevalent though, as it became more of a, you know, like a sport in hip hop, you know, to come for the throne in one way or another. Now, while this is a legendary era of hip hop with way too much going on all at the same time, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, you know, with rap heading into that internet era we sometimes bring up on this channel. Rap was still pretty peak, but as far as dissing, the fallout from the 90s was still there. There's a reason people still bring up the West Coast versus East Coast shit that was going on. It was that damaging. I mean, I guess you had 50 Cent and Ja Rule, they had their thing going on, sure. And yes, that was culturally impactful at the time, don't get me wrong. That beef did span over the course of about 10 years, with 50 releasing his diss in 1999, directly aimed at Ja Rule and some other artists. Now in 99, 50 Cent was pretty new. Ja Rule had alleged that he saw 50 Cent hanging out at the club with the guy who robbed him, and apparently it just went from there. Now, while this beef was impactful in its own ways, I think it's time that I get into the most impactful era of dissing in rap.
My favorite. R.I.P. the people that were lost in the world shot right. But man, some bangers came out of that era indeed. I think it all started with Lil JoJo and him dissing BDs. I'm not gonna add the last letter, but if you know, you know. If you don't, he about to tell y'all.
This is my opinion, but it was definitely Chicago drill. Now, before Chicago, of course, rappers was coming at each other, you know, directly or in clever ways, and those songs were impactful, like I said, you know. But it's like Chicago came in and said, yeah, hold my beer, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it in a way more evil way.
Man.
Now, in order to explain what I mean,
Sinister.
we gotta go back to 2011, where that was realistically the start of Chicago's disrespectful drill scene. Now, of course, Trap Lord Ross has some amazing videos about this entire scene, so truthfully, I don't want to go over the entire lore. We'd literally be here for hours, like how he was. But they're
Man, that's a whole video itself. Hey, go make that a video, bro. Go do research and make that a video, cause bro, Chicago diss wars, Chicago beef, Chicago man, that's a whole man.
Which is what I'll focus on. I would personally say had much more of an impact than normal because, well, here's a few examples. Let me try and break it down for you, right?
So got the mohawk. You know this a different time. Pop out with a mohawk today, you ain't get no hoes.
Let's say these two guys have issues with each other, right? These two guys represent two different teams. Let's say one of the guys loses a teammate, as in he fucking dies. The other guy on the other team makes a song where he proceeds to make fun of him for dying. That's basically Chicago for 4 years. Dissing the dead became the norm.
Like, fuck your homie, he dead. I'm not reading those names, but I think these is Chief Keef people. Cause I know Kobe. No, these Herbo people. I think they are the same people, but dang.
It was no longer, oh, Michael down the street, his bars are whack, his songs are trash. No, it's like, Michael down the street got killed by the red light. I see his mama, I bet that it's on site. That's what, that's what dissing became.
That shit was hard though. RP to them again,
bro. It became so normal that unfortunately it got to a point where people were getting killed over these songs. They already had targets on their back, but these songs made things immensely worse. That's why I feel like Chicago was just on a whole nother level with the dissing, right? You had songs like this.
Trying to pump fake and folk out on his heels, and every time we on they block, somebody gon' get killed.
Now everyone that he's mentioning,
listen, I don't condone them lyrics, bro. That shit was hard, bro. I'm not choosing sides. That was hard. A lot of Chicago songs is hard. A lot of people are beefing in Chicago. So am I wrong for liking the song? That was hard.
This song has passed away, and he's just over there mocking it. And that is barely scratching the surface. Check this out.
Flame up Lil Boo right now. He tie your head. Flame up Stello right now.
Is that J,
The
man?
light was red. All the ops I did. I
man.
never cared. Barney can't run around. Draco set him down. As long as 12 around, he get man down. Bobo can't make a sound. He in the ground. Lil Puda, he a goofy. Get pushed around. I'm busting.
They found Kurt Mac dead outside. Crumb couldn't get up even though he tried. Lil James got hit on the fire. I know y'all wish he was still alive.
As you can see, without even
That hook was hard, but I don't. Again, I'm gonna reiterate this. Rest in peace to all those people that died, and I'm not choosing sides. But that hook on that song was hard. That's not the
knowing
hook.
the full
If you know the
context
hook,
of
you know
who
the
these
hook.
guys were talking about, Peak Chicago Drill just had senseless dissing, which turned into senseless violence. You know how the streets work too. If you try to trace it back to who started it, why these guys are being so disrespectful, you're not really gonna get a straight answer. So that's why it's just like, I don't know, I don't want to say interesting, but like that's what drew people in. Young Pappy has one of the most classic drill songs of all time, and within the first line, he disses a man who was a rival gang member named Teezy. For those of you who are kind of slow, a way that people get dissed, especially back then, was that they would name the weed that they were smoking after whoever it was they were dissing.
Man,
Hence,
rest in peace to Tuka, but he got it the worst. Chief Keef made that global. He made it global, bro. Man.
he said, I got Teezy in my swisher, Teezy! And please don't take that as me trying to be funny, bro. That song still gets played to this day. It's a fucking classic. Y'all can't blame me
It is
for
a
yelling
classic
that, bro.
indeed.
I'm sorry.
I love that
Basically, you know,
R.I.P.
mocking
Teezy.
this. So Chicago died down a bit, and I mean, trust me, they still do that over there for sure. You got niggas like Bloodhound Q50, but
I'm surprised he
that
didn't bring a little JoJo where, like, you know what I'm saying? All that good
era
shit.
that I just talked about realistically didn't last as long as you would think it did, because niggas was getting killed left and right. It was just so prevalent
True.
because of the amount of talent that was coming out just for them to eventually drop. And when I say eventually, I mean within like a few months. It seems like after that though, the dissing became even worse as it became normal, you know, for someone to get disrespected in a rap song, especially drill. One song I for sure want to bring up that didn't actually spark the beef but brought national attention to the beef was Who I Smoke with Spinna Benz, Wappa, FM Goon, and Young and Ace. This song,
This was this whole little era. But this was probably the most disrespectful dissing I ever seen. But this era was fire, bro. I hate to say it. This carry COVID. This dissing right here, this carry COVID.
is phenomenally disrespectful
Music-wise.
in so many different ways.
Not just this one
the
song,
crazy
both
part about
sides.
this song though is that it went very, very viral, especially on TikTok. So you had kids dancing to a song where multiple real people who had passed away, you know, due to gun violence were getting mocked. Because at the time, I'm not gonna lie, the song was catchy as hell. Mainly because the instrumental was that 1,000 Mile song by Vanessa Carlton. But it didn't stop there. I want to play you a song from the Jacksonville gang war that was happening that I just think is one of the most disrespectful songs of all time. And honestly, I think the dissing went too
Rest
far.
in peace, folks. Right here.
Dude, can't go in schools, he a rapist.
Whoa. That's crazy. That's insane.
Money left John's, why the fuck he didn't make it? Wallow had his gun, but his pussy out was faking. Since y'all smoking on Lapidus, bitch, I'm smoking on that baby. Like,
Dissing babies, they got it, bro. They different. Look, crack is crazy.
Yes, you saw that correctly. He brought up a literal child that was killed and used his real name in the ad-lib. Niggas is going to hell. Yeah. Now,
They are
this isn't
indeed.
exclusive to
And they
just
don't
Florida
care.
or Chicago. Realistically, like I said, the disrespect has become very normalized in today's rap music. Look at Murder B's weak ass, bro.
No, I know he's smoking on.
And I mean, as you can tell, it's not just regional, bro. One of the biggest rap songs of the last decade was a diss song, bro. Yes, I'm talking about that song. Should I go into detail? No. I think we've all had enough of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The point is, dissing
I
is
ain't a hater, but I hate that song, bro. Probably because how much it was pushed, but bro.
now widespread. And don't get me wrong, it's not just an American thing either. I could go into the UK drill scene with songs like No Censor by Zone 2, which, by the way, is one of my favorite UK drill songs of all time. but it's also one of the most disrespectful songs of all time as far as the dissing goes. So disrespectful that when the music video first came out, it was taken down within hours because of how insane it actually was.
Really? So they couldn't take, man, this had to be some demonic, crazy voodoo stuff in here, because why the other ones ain't get deleted? That's wild.
So disrespectful that there's a literal part in the song where one of the rappers starts naming dead people, mocking them, and the engineer of the song put Sonic coins while he was saying them as if, you know, he was leveling up by naming the dead people.
If Coke got put in a spliff, GB got put in a spliff, SC got put in a spliff, no C.
Hold on, that's tough though. Hold on, run that back. RIP to them though.
While he was saying them as if, you know, he was leveling up by naming the dead people.
If Coke got put in a spliff, GB got put in a spliff, SC got put in a spliff, no CJ got put in a spliff, OT nearly got put in a Riz, Pool nearly got put in a Riz, Nats, Max got put in a wig, Gang Love Crash, boring.
Now I know some of y'all might not take that song seriously just because of their accent or whatever.
I like
it,
though.
But those songs are hard, and on top of that, he's literally again naming real people that were murdered, mocking them. I could have gone way more in depth for this video, but a lot of different songs and a lot of different time periods. We would be here for so long. I mean, do y'all remember when 401 first came out, like how they came to be like, you know, massive, like how they blew up? I know y'all remember the Naughty Bob dance, bro, which is so crazy because that also
that was a kid that got stabbed up in a subway. RIP to Naughty Bob.
Mad viral on TikTok when it's just a bunch of kids mocking a dead kid that got stabbed on some subway or some shit. Like, this dissing shit just gets serious. I want y'all to take this video as a lesson, especially if you're a rapper. Please don't feel obligated to do this. Don't feel like you have to be the street nigga. Like I said in my TK video, y'all don't really have to be on what y'all are saying. It's okay to lie in your songs. Like, I don't think niggas are really getting on people's dicks about, you know, pump faking them more. I mean, if they are, then whatever. I guess go ahead. Go kill someone if you're really about it. I guess, bro. But it's just like, if there's people you're dissing in your city and you don't like them or whatever, why give them any shine by dissing them? Like, you're just shouting them out in your song. Like, if you really don't fuck with them, go kill them. I'm UVXCX.
Damn, this nigga's promoting violence, bro. Come on, bro. Chillax, bro. You tweaking, telling them to go kill. Hey, they already killing each other enough. The last thing they need is, you know what I'm saying, a motivator to motivate them to do more. Fuck, dude. The last thing that they need is a motivator to motivate them to do more killing. You know what I'm saying? Stop the violence. You know what I'm saying? Let's make growing to see old age popular. Let's make that cool, guys. But no, I'm gonna catch you niggas in the next one. Yes, sir.